Right, okay, so hello everybody, how are you doing and welcome back to the channel. It's Mikey, obviously, and I'm back today because I'm going to be doing something different. It's not a reaction today. I'm going to be doing my Q&A video today as part of my 1000 sub celebration. As a lot of you might know, it was about a week ago now, I posted the thing saying I was going to be doing a Q&A. I've had a few questions since then, not from as many people as I thought I would probably get, but that doesn't matter. This has actually worked out a lot better, because obviously it means that I can do them all in one video. I've had several from Luke. Yeah, my best bud and channel manager, we all know him. Of course he was going to send me a few questions. So yeah, I thought I'd do this today because again, I advertised it a while ago. People have been waiting for the answers to these questions, so I thought I'd do it today. And so yeah, that's why we're here. I'm not going to go through all the spiel of, obviously I want you to like the video, comment. Also, if you're watching this and you've got any questions, just, feel free to leave me a comment with more questions, because if I do get some more, I want to maybe do another one. I probably will. This isn't the only thing I'm doing to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. I want to do something else. There's actually something very, very new coming soon. I'm not going to share it with you just yet, but yeah, there's something new coming soon, and I think a good portion of you might like it. Yeah, let's wait and see. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be answering these questions. Now, because Luke's posted so many, I'm going to try and, obviously I'm going to answer every single one. But yeah, I'm going to go through everyone. I'm going to answer them sort of in a random order. I'm not going to focus on that one person's, then another, then another. I'm going to do it in a different order. So, you know what? Let's get straight into it. Obviously, if you're watching, I don't know why you'd be watching if you're not subscribed already, but if you are for some reason, feel free to subscribe to the channel, because more stuff like this will be coming in future. So yeah, let's get straight on with it, shall we? First of all, I've said that I was going to answer the question down here from the Reverend of Funk. Rev, as I call him. He doesn't mind, I asked. He's asked me to, so I'll just start with the first one, okay? And I did promise that I'd answer his question first, because he was the first person to post a question. He posted it on a video of mine that I said to him, I want to show the questions on screen. Would you mind commenting it on a post? And he did it straight away, so, I said I'd answer it for him, first of all. So, yeah, first question. It's something I've mentioned a lot on the channel, actually, and it's down here. Yeah, you should be able to see it. My window's over that side for you. No, this side. Anyway, yeah. First question. How did you and Luke meet? Again, Luke, my best friend and channel manager. Well, again, I've told this story a few times. I'm not going to tell the long version because I've got a lot of questions to get through. I don't want this video to go on forever. We met through YouTube, is the straight answer. I found one of his videos one night. It was about 2, 3 in the morning. Actually, it was Christmas Eve. Yeah, it was Christmas Eve, 2023. And I was really bored. I was just scrolling through YouTube. Sometimes you're just on the home thing. You just keep scrolling. I must have scrolled about 18 times. I don't know. And it just came up there in the little window. It was a picture of Catherine Tate dressed as her character Nan, and it was a reaction. I'd given up on reactors a long time before then, because I found a lot of them to be quite fake, a bit dull. I'd left many comments showing support and what have you. Never had anything back. So, I just gave up on reactors, and then I just saw it, the Yorkshireman Reacts, before he changed the name of the channel to TYMR. And I thought, I like the Yorkshire accent. This is going to be great. And yeah, I clicked on it, and I just was hooked straight away, Yeah, he was just a normal person, there was no gimmicks. He wasn't in an office or what's the other thing they tend to call it? A studio. He was just in his dining room, just making a normal video, laughing at something the same way I would, and just reacting like a normal person and showing full appreciation for it. And I thought, this guy is great. And I did love his accent. I thought, hey, up here we go. I like the Yorkshire accent, me. And that's what made me look. So yeah, after that, I went onto his channel, found that he'd reacted to one of my favourite TV shows, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. And I thought, that short clip of Catherine Tate was really funny. Gimme, Gimme, Gimme is going to be great. So yeah, again, cutting the story a little bit shorter. The first one I watched was his reaction to the Millennium episode. I left a comment on that, thinking, it's a comment, it'll be fine. And within minutes, he'd replied. I got a really lovely reply from him, and it just went from there, I left more comments, he replied to them, we just got talking, we added each other on other social media platforms, and yeah, the rest is history. We bonded so well, and everything like that, and we found we got a lot in common, and we just became best mates. He got me into reacting, which is why I'm here now. He's my number one supporter. He's always there for me, and yeah, that's how we met. That's the short version. I would tell the long version, but like I said, I've told it that many times, and it's a Q&A. I've got to do more than just the one question. So yeah, there you go. That's how we met. We basically just met through... I found a random video, and it's led to the best friendship of my life, and my life has changed ever since. There you go. Let that be a lesson. Don't ever think that these things, you know, the little things that you do can make a massive difference, and it really did. Just one video, and yeah, my life changed. And like I say, I've got the best friend in the world now, so there you go. Now, we're going to go to the top here, and we're going to answer one of Luke's questions. And his first question is, what was your first dream job? What was your first dream job as a kid, and how did it change as you got older? What did it change to as you got older? Well, it's a funny one, that, because as a kid I didn't really have a dream job. You know a lot of kids go through this. They go through phases, don't they? Like, oh, I want to be a policeman, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a doctor. You know, little kids have that, don't they? I didn't. I didn't really have that. I was never... As a little kid, I don't ever remember looking anything beyond the following day. I mean, I went through a phase where I wanted to be a hairdresser, but that was very short-lived. But one thing I've always loved doing all my life, and something I loved doing as a kid, is drawing. Just sitting down with a pad of paper and a set of felt tip pens, I was as happy as Larry. I would draw all sorts. And I'm still the same now. You know, I haven't drawn in a while. But as you know, this channel started, you know, by me posting my original cartoons, which I am thinking about redoing one day. Now that I've got the equipment, I'm thinking I could record voices. You know, take the same video, edit out the speech bubbles with the writing, add some voices. The videos will be shorter, snappier. It's something I'm thinking of. It's nothing I'm planning for the immediate future. But yeah, as a kid I loved drawing. I remember thinking I'd love to draw cartoons or illustrate books, because one of my favourite kids' TV programmes was Rosie and Jim. And for a while, it wasn't the original presenter, but one of the presenters later on was the children's author and illustrator, Pat Hutchins. And she used to draw pictures, and I thought, I could do that. That's something I really wanted to do as a kid. I kind of got to live that out, you know, making me little cartoons. But as I got older, I had several ideas as I got older. I'm not going to go through them all, we'll be here all day. But the big one, the last proper career kind of thing I was looking into was nursing. Because obviously I've grown up with a heart problem. I've had many medical checks in my life. And I thought, I'd quite like to do that. I'd quite like to help people. And what put me off that was when I started college and I was doing my A-levels, and my college tutor said to me one day, I was in my first year of college, I'd only been there a couple of months, I think it was about November 2010. I started in the September, obviously, and she sat me down, she said, right, are you ready to fill out your application? I said, what application? She said, university. I said, right, okay. I said, that's a couple of years away. She was like, yeah, but you need to decide what you want to do so that you can start your UCAS application and start building points and start, you know, getting everything you need to make sure that you get onto the course that you want to do. I went, right. I said, well, I want to do nursing. You know, what's wrong with that? And she said, well, nothing's wrong with it. She said, but if you start your UCAS application now, it just looks better when you apply. I said, all right, then, yeah, I suppose I can. Yeah, I can always, you know, if I change my mind later. She went, oh, no, we have to adapt your application to the course you want to do. Otherwise, they won't even look at you. And I looked at her and said, I'm 16. 16. And I said, you want me to decide at 16 what I want to do at university 2 years from now? She said, yes. I said, well, what if I change my mind? She said, well, you're in college now. You really should have a clear idea of what you want to do when you are older. And I said, right, so I'm looking at 2 years of college and 3 to 4 years of uni, depending. So I said, you want me to decide now what job I'm going to have in 6 years' time? In a field where, at the time anyway, nursing jobs were sort of few and far between. You know, there was a lot about back then about, you know, nurses and stuff. And she was like, yes, because it just looks better if you start as early as possible. You look a lot more determined, and they'll take you. And I just said no. I said, no way, I'm not deciding that now. Because I was flitty, you know, I'd only wanted to do nursing for about a year before that. And so I thought, no, I might change my mind. And before I know it, I'm stuck building up an application for a course that I might not want to do. So yeah, that was the last time I had any kind of ambition. Since then, I've bounced from job to job. You know, I've worked in care, I've worked in call centres, I've worked in a supermarket, I've worked in, what's the other place? Oh, gee. I did advertising, I worked for magazines, I wrote articles, I did interviews. So yeah, but you know, every job I've had, I've been terrible at. I've not enjoyed it. I've not been, I've not been the best person at it, and I've just never ever been happy until now. This is the best job I've ever had. I mean, it sounds weird to call it a job, but it is. It is a job, and yeah, this is the first time I've been happy because I've got, I've got that control over it. It's mine, and obviously, obviously you, Luke, you are my manager. Obviously, that's fine because you're the best manager I've ever worked with. You're not bossy or anything like that. So yeah, this is the best thing that I've been doing for a while. And I don't think I realised that this is what I wanted to do until I started doing it. And again, that's all thanks to you for encouraging me to do it. So yeah, there you go. So basically, as a little kid, I wasn't very ambitious, looked into nursing, but then probably about, a few years later, bouncing from job to job, I found what I wanted to do. And here I am. Okay, so there you go. There's your answer to that. Hope that answers what you were hoping for. Obviously, this goes for all of you. Now, this question here is from SureShot-XC3C. Sorry about that. I need my eyes tested, I'm sure I do. What has been, they want to know, what has been your favourite and least favourite Still Game episode so far? Well, my favourite in terms of reaction, I've got to say, it was swatting. There was so much to love about that. I mean, you got a couple of old gents like Jack and Victor going to night school and behaving like a couple of first-year uni students. It was hilarious. Just absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, we go to the museum and there's a bauble in a jar. That was just so unexpected. It was absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, the return of Edith. Oh, what is not to like about that? And I still, to this day, think that has been my best reaction ever. And it's probably my favourite episode for that reason, because it had the strongest impact on me when I was reacting to it. So yeah, that's the answer to that. Obviously, I've got other favourites as well. Hatch is a great episode. I really love that one. That is a favourite as well. Yeah, I've got a few favourites. But yeah, that's the main one, is probably swatting, if I'm basing this on my initial reaction and my initial response to it. Least favourite? I don't really have a least favourite as such. I mean, I love them all, but I think I had to think long and hard about this. The one that I'm going to say is my least favourite is probably Family from Series 1. Why do I say that like I'm on EastEnders? Family. There you go. That's a Scottish way of saying it, isn't it? It's Family. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably my least favourite. Just because I feel like as funny as it was, there was a lot of sadness in that episode, because Victor thinks his son's coming, they wait all day at the train station. And while, again, it is sprinkled with great comedy moments and memorable moments, I will never get beyond the fact that it was so emotional and I felt so much for Victor. I was sad for him, I was disappointed for him, and I was really angry at his son. So, just for that reason alone, I'm going to say that's my least favourite, just because it brought a lot of sadness to the surface for me, and I didn't like that element. So, yeah. That's the answer to that one for you. Hope that you enjoyed the answer. I don't know if it was what you were expecting. But yeah, there's that. Now, before I do Rev's second question, I'm going to go back up here and do Luke's next one. What has been your proudest achievement since becoming a YouTube reactor? Well, again, there's so many. Obviously, the recent achievement of hitting 1,000 subs, that's great. Because, to be honest, I was at a point where I never thought it was going to happen. I think I was on about 600 and something subscribers for a good 2 or 3 weeks, and I think I was like, yeah, this is going to be where it ends. And then, of course, thanks to Luke's management and the careful selection of the content for me to react to, it has boosted. And after just 3 months? No. December, January, February, March. We're now early April, but I hit 1,000 in March. So yeah, 4 months. So yeah, not too bad. That was a really proud moment. Obviously, bonding even further with you and everything, that's a really proud moment as well. But I think the other one, and this is going to sound a bit soppy, but I think one of the proudest things I've felt since becoming a reactor is finding that people like me. I mean, I've never gone through, I've never been one of those people that's like, I want to be liked, I want people to think I'm a good person. I've never really cared. I mean, I did when I was younger, but then I got to a stage where I thought, what, I'm trying my hardest and you lot just aren't. I mean, I'm talking like when I was at school, trying to build a bit of a life at school. I'm not really having friends and just thinking, I don't care, I'll give up now. But yeah, that was one of my biggest things when I came into doing this. I was terrified that I wasn't going to be likeable because, I'm told I've got a lot of annoying qualities. I noticed in my early reactions I was talking a lot, which I still do. You know, it's become sort of trademark now for my reactions, telling all these little stories. But I was, sorry, I was really worried in the beginning that it was going to be annoying. And so yeah, when the comments started flooding in, people started being so supportive. You know, look forward to reactions, great reaction. You know, you made it funnier. Hearing that I was likable and that people were responding so well and liking me as a person, that was a really proud moment for me, because I thought, you know what, this is the first time really where that's happened. You know, in such a degree, you know, like when you walk into a new school, like walking into secondary school, there are those kids that walk in and they immediately make 24 friends. I didn't. I was there 5 years and I think I made about 4 different friends in that entire time. So, you know, ugh. So yeah, obviously Luke, yourself, you know, we were sorry, I really should have brought a drink with me. Yeah, we were really good friends before this started, and you know, I'm just obviously I'm so proud of that as well. I knew what it was like to be liked by yourself, but of course, putting myself out there on YouTube to an unknown number of people at that time, and then to find out that they like me and are looking forward to watching me to the point of subscribing to me, that was a real achievement. That was probably my proudest moment, is thinking they like me. You know, for once, a group of people like me for the first time in 30 years. And so, yeah, I mean, apart from family, obviously, but yeah, you know what I mean. So that's probably my proudest moment, as well as hitting 1K and obviously experiencing all the great things, you know, music especially, like D-Mash and Pentatonix. Just wow, really proud moment that they became part of my life. So, yeah, that answers that one for you. Now, I'm obviously going to go down to Rev's second question. And also, do you do a normal job outside of YouTube? Well, it depends what you call a normal job. Do I leave the house every day? No. Do I get a paycheck? Not really. I'm a full-time carer for my mum. My mum has arthritis and COPD. I'm a fully trained, fully registered carer, and I look after her pretty much round the clock. So yeah, that's why YouTube's a little side project for me. You know, something that's mine, something that I can, you know, just yeah. So yeah, the answer to that is, well, obviously I am working all the time. You know, I am caring for somebody. I do have to do a lot for her. That's why I run the house more or less single-handedly. And yeah, there you go. That's that. That's what I do. I'm a full-time carer. Yeah, like I said in answer to Luke's questions, I've had several jobs and I've never been any good. So this is my job. You know, this doing YouTube, I now regard this as my job. So, especially now that I'm monetized as well. So, I'm actually making something out of it. And Patreon as well. You know, obviously I'm making something from Patreon. So, yeah, there's that. Thank you for those questions, Rev. Now, obviously, all the rest of the questions are going to be... Sorry. All the rest are coming from Luke, who's so kind. He's posted me so many. I'm going to answer these in a different order, actually. I just did the first two just because they were kind of easy to answer. I'm going to go in a different order from these ones. So, Actually, no, do you know what? I'll just do this one next. If you could wipe your memory of seeing 3 TV shows and movies, brackets 3 of each, close brackets, so you could react to them, which ones would you choose? Well, I'm going to start with films, actually, because this was the easiest to decide. The first film I would wipe my memory of seeing would be Speed, with why did I nearly say Channing Tatum? Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. Just because I saw that film for the first time in 2022. You know, absolutely loved it. Thought it was a great film. Fantastic. I still love it to this day. And the first time I watched it, I was on the edge of my seat. And I would love to be able to erase that one from my memory and react to it. Just because I remember watching it for the first time. Literally, like my hand to my face like that. You know, and you can see the speedometer on the bus. I mean, obviously, you know, watching something for the second time, it's never the same, is it? You know what's coming. You can still feel a bit tense, but it's never quite the same as the first. So, yeah, I would watch that for the first time just because it's such a fantastic film. And, yeah, I'd love to see it for the first time on camera. Obviously, I can't, but, you know, we're playing pretend. The second one, I've got to say, would be Spy with Melissa McCarthy. Massive reason for that is because Miranda's in it. And because the first time I saw that film was absolutely hilarious. I did not expect Miranda to be in a film with all these American, well, there's British stars in there as well, but I mean, you've got the likes of Jude Law, Rose Byrne, who's the other one? Jason Statham. Such a fantastic film, and it's so funny as well. It's a great mystery as well, and it's really funny. I don't know if you've seen it or if anyone else has seen it. But yeah, Miranda Hart, oh my god, her in that film, she's absolutely hilarious. Tell them you've shit your pants. That to get you out of my way. Oh, 50-cent piece. Thanks for letting me know. I just love it. Yeah, I'd love to react to that on camera because I just absolutely lost it watching that for the first time. And the third one, and it's a weird one to say this, the third one I'd love to react to for the first time on camera would be one of the Scream films, and it would be Scream 4. Just because it was the film that kind of got me back into the franchise. You know, I was scared of it as a kid, and now hearing that a fourth film was in the works, it made me think, do you know what, I'll go back and watch them because might be fun. So yeah, hearing of the fourth film got me back into the franchise, and for me, it's one that, it's not scary, but I remember watching it in the cinema, and I remember being a bit on edge. For me, it's one of the, it's an unpopular opinion amongst Scream fans, but for me, it's one of the strongest. You know, I just really love it. We return to the original town where the film was set. You know, we got all your legacy characters back. We've got new characters back. Not giving away any spoilers for the benefit of anyone that hasn't seen it, but for me, it's one of the best killer reveals of the entire franchise. Twist of an ending. The ending was a bit unexpected. So, yeah, I would like to watch Scream 4 again if I could remove it from my memory. Okay? So, yeah, that's the films. Now, TV shows. This one has been a bit difficult for me because I want to say that one of them is Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. But obviously, looking at like the rules of having something erased from your memory, if I erase Gimme, 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 does that mean I erase the two of us meeting? Or are we just saying that, you know, leave everything else as it is, but I just wipe that program from my head? And, you know, maybe my memory of finding you through, commenting on Gimme, Gimme, Gimme is replaced by the Nan video, the original. I don't know, but I'm not going to go too mad into it because I'm not going to go too sci-fi bonkers with it. Yeah, let's just pretend that it is just literally what you've said and they're removed from my head. Yeah, I'd love to watch Gimme, Gimme, Gimme again for the first time because I remember watching it in, I think it was like early 2021. And I just absolutely howled because, again, like I said about Speed, you can find something hilariously funny every time you watch it, but I don't think anything compares to the first time you see it. I remember the episode Saturday Night Diva. That one, I lost it completely the first time. My eyes were sore from laughing because I had tears. You know, it's like, oh, I'm drunk, I might do myself an injury. That line, I don't know why, that absolutely killed me. Oh, bloody hell, it's Snow White with hemorrhoids. Just full of, oh, you know what, yeah, I'd love to watch that as a reaction, I really would. So, yeah. And let's just say, you know, let's just close the little bit of a wormhole there. Let's just say that once I've reacted to it, I get my memories back. Let's just say. So, yeah, that's fine. Another TV show that I would like to remove is probably, do you know what? I probably should have put more thought. I'm putting all my thought into films. Sorry, I was looking over here at some DVDs on a shelf over here. I'm just seeing if I can get any inspiration. I think I'd probably like to remove. Do you know? I can't think. I can't think of a single other program. Another program that I would like to watch again from the start, without any previous memory of it. Do you know? I don't know. This is really taking some thinking. I should have put more thought into this one. I can't. Do you know? For a minute, I just can't think of any other. Actually, no. There is one. Something that is actually fairly new. Actually, it's. I know, obviously, you, Luke, you've not seen the Jurassic Park franchise, but the animated series from DreamWorks, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, it's absolutely fantastic. And just yesterday, just on the 3rd of this month, Series 3 of the. Obviously, we had the Camp Cretaceous series from 2020 to 2022. But starting last May, was a new version of it called Chaos Theory. Same characters, just a bit older. Similar kind of story, but, you know, it's more about dinosaurs in the real world. So Series 3 of that dropped yesterday, so I've been watching that, and it's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I'd erase that, because even for an animated show, I mean, DreamWorks make it, but for an animated program about the Jurassic Park / world era, it's fantastic. It puts you on the edge of your seat. and it's really popular as well. It's a lot more popular than I would have thought, not just amongst younger viewers as well. So yeah, I would watch that again. That's number 2. I would definitely remove that and react to it, because again, it's got so many great moments and it's so entertaining. There's a lot of mystery there, so yeah, I would do that. And do you know what? I'm gonna come back to the third. I mean, how long have I been recording? Let me have a look. Oh, sorry, only 24 minutes. Right. So yeah, I'll come back to that and I'll answer you the third one in a minute. I'll keep thinking about it. Oh, and also, guys, just one last thing. Sorry, I actually finished recording this, but I forgot to give the rest of the answer to Luke's question about the 3 TV shows. And I've decided it should have come to mind immediately. I don't know why it didn't. The third TV show that I would erase from my memory and react to, obviously, will be Only Fools and Horses. It's a favourite of Luke's. He wanted me to react to it. He wanted me to watch it long before I started reactions, and I did. Literally less than a month before starting reactions. I should have waited, I should have left it, and I could have reacted to it. That's a big regret. You know, that is a really big regret, that is, because I'd love to let him be able to watch that, let you be able to watch that, Luke, obviously. But yeah, that's what I would do. That would be the third show. It would be Only Fools and Horses. Yeah, like I said, I stopped recording, but I'm editing this in, you know, just before I wrap the video. It came to me. I finished recording, I left the room, and then I thought, Only Fools. I never answered the third TV show. So yeah, there you go. That'd be the third thing that I would remove from my memory. Actually, no, if I'm going to be honest, it'll be the first. Gimme 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 can go in second, and the Jurassic animated series can go in third place. Only Fools and Horses. There you go. So yeah, there's that for you. Right, so your next one is, out of all the shows I've got you reacting to and all the music, etc., what do you look forward to recording the most? Like the one where you're literally smiling, almost already giggling, sat at your desk before you've even hit record. Well, all of them, to be honest with you. All of them. I mean, they all have me really giddy waiting for the next one, obviously. But I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Still Game, just because it's the biggest audience, you know, and I get the best response from Still Game. And let's be honest, it's so unexpected. You know, you never know what's going to happen in an episode of Still Game. There's so many fantastic characters that could pop up on screen at any time. And honestly, this is going to sound... I know I've made a bit of a meal out of really loving the character of Edith, but every time I put an episode of Still Game on, I'm thinking, oh, is this going to be the day she's going to turn up? Is today that day? So yeah. And also because in a lot of my Still Game reactions, there's been so many people that have written me a comment underneath saying, oh, this has really cheered me up, or, you know, this has made my day, or, you know, just something like that. I've never had anything like that on any of the other TV shows I'm reacting to. So it's because of the response, I think, with Still Game. I know it's going to get a great response. I know a lot of people love it, and I know it cheers a lot of people up. So yeah, for that and the fact that Edith could turn up, that the characters are hilarious, and you never know what's going to happen, I would definitely say that Still Game is the one where I sit here sort of like that, with, ooh, new episode. That's probably the one. I do it for them all, but Still Game is probably the one where I feel that the strongest. Okay? Now... Imagine that you have... Next question, sorry. Imagine that you have the most imagine that you have the most amazing singing voice and songwriting ability in the world, and you're in such hot demand that you can write/record a song with any artist in the world alive today in 2025. Who would it be? Also, if it was 2005, who would you record with then? Right, okay, so... First of all, me being a singer... I mean, a few pints and karaoke, that's my repertoire. But yeah, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it seriously. I'm not trying to be funny. Yeah, if I had it and I had the songwriting ability, who would I record with in 2025? Honestly, I gave this some thought earlier because I'm not really into a lot of modern artists. You know, a lot of my favourite singers are from a few years ago. But there's a handful of modern people that I like, and I think I've narrowed it down. I think my answer would have to be Niall Horan, formerly of One Direction. Just because, you know, I think some of his songs are really nice. You know, obviously I don't like them all. You know, no one likes every artist's song, do they? But, yeah, just because I think he's got, you know, he's got a great ear for music. You know, I don't think he's ever written a bad one. And I think it'd be just a great experience, you know, because, I mean, I remember watching his audition on the X Factor. He's a celebrity I'd love to meet, you know, just because, yeah, well, why not? So, yeah, I remember watching his first audition. I followed him all the way through the X Factor. See, I feel like I've known him for a long time. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've been a fan for a long time. So yeah, I think if I had that ability, I would probably try and collaborate with him. If he'd have me. You know, he might do. You never know. So yeah, that was who I would choose for an artist alive today in 2025. As for 2005, this one was tough. I'm going to take it that, you know, we're imagining that I'm going to be the age I am now in 2005. I'd probably pick Kelly Clarkson, just because she was. I mean, I know she's still around today. She's more of a TV presenter now, isn't she? But back then, she was in sort of a heyday, if you like, if that's not too much of an old-fashioned term. Yeah, she was a pretty big artist back then. She did all kinds of music, didn't she? She did fast songs, she did ballads, she did things that were a bit rock style, some that were a bit more pop. There was a bit of everything. So yeah, I'd love to have. If I could go back to 2005, I'd probably try my best to collaborate with Kelly Clarkson. That's who I would choose. I did think about saying Pink, but I thought, I would love to, but I don't know. Maybe, but I think Kelly Clarkson would be up there on the list. 'Cause I don't know. I mean, if I could sing, I don't think my voice would be anything close to being able to work with Pink. So yeah, you'd have a better shot because you can sing in a very similar key to her. If I could sing, I don't know, but yeah, Kelly Clarkson would be my selection for 2005. Okay. Right, next. Imagine that eventually my podcast takes off to such a level and that I'm so successful I've been able to pay you to move to the general area, nowhere specific. I love it. Yeah, paid you to move there to help and host it with me, and we're able to invite one of the following three people on the show. Who would you pick? Miranda Hart, Kathy Burke, or Pink? Well, we're both big fans of all three, but I'm going to say, even as successful as it could be, I don't know what the chances of getting Pink on the show would be. I'd like to think they were high. I'd love to have them all on there at some point. But if obviously the question says if I had to pick one, I know Kathy Burke does a lot of podcasts and stuff, but I don't. I think out of those three, I would have to choose Miranda. Just because, even though I found you in your channel through Gimme Gimme Gimme, and that's how we initially bonded, I feel like we quote Miranda a lot more. I think we chuck a Miranda quote at each other at least once a day. I'm really sure that is it. Yeah, I'd have to say Miranda Hart again because we both loved her for a very long time, and I think she can put a smile on anybody's face, can't she? I mean, she can be very serious, but she can also be very funny, and I think she would be the easiest for the pair of us to bond with because we love her show and her career so much. We both have a lot of questions for her. It'd just be such a laugh, and I think that she would really love that we quote her so much to each other. I reckon it'd be a great show if we had Miranda Hart. So that is who I would pick. I would love for the other two to come on as well, but obviously you've asked me to pick one of those three. It'd have to be Miranda. It's got to be Miranda. Okay. Now this is the toughest one you have asked. My God, this is the one I've wrapped my brain over so much. I'm just going to scroll this down a bit in case my window's blocking. That's as far as I can go. Right, this question here, it says, imagine the walls of reality in our world have been shattered. And all of a sudden, a magic genie flies down from the sky, lands in front of you and says, you have 4, not 3, but 4 wishes. You can have anything, anyone, anywhere, anytime you want. What would you wish for? Now, the first thing I want to clarify is by any time, does this mean I can wish at any time, or does it mean I can travel to any time? I'm going to answer it as if it's both. Obviously, yeah, I'd like to wish for anything anytime I want, of course, but obviously I'd like to have some time to think about it if I only get 4. Would I wish to time travel? Yes and no. I mean, there's lots of different places I'd like to go back to. I'd love to go back and see what was actually going around the time the dinosaurs were here. Because I love dinosaurs, and again, I love Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I love that whole franchise, that whole universe. And the whole thing about dinosaurs is there's so much guesswork, isn't there? I mean, how the hell do we know from bones that a dinosaur had, I don't know, scales? We don't. Well, there probably is a way to know. I don't know. But there's so much guesswork and all these facts surrounding them. I'd love to go back and have a look. So yeah, I probably wish to go back and just have a look at the world around the dinosaurs. Obviously I wish to be safe while I was there. This will all be one wish, by the way. I would wish to safely travel back several million years to the days of the dinosaurs and be able to return safely. That's what I would do. There's other places I'd love to go, but I'm not going to waste my time. The dinosaurs are one, because I'd love to come back with some actual facts. I'd take my phone and take some pictures and go, hey, oh, this is what I did. This is my genie. He took me back to the dinosaurs. This is it. You're wrong about that. You got that bit right, but you were wrong about this. I'd love to do that. Okay? That'd be fun. As for wishing for anyone, are we talking romantically? Because I wouldn't. I couldn't, because to be honest with you, I mean, it'd be all too easy, wouldn't it, to wish for that, but I wouldn't do it because the whole time I'd be thinking, do you know what? They're not with me because they want to be. They're with me because I wish for it. You know, they don't feel what they say they're feeling. It's because I've wished this to be so. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't live my life like that. I really couldn't. As tempting as it would be, trust me, as tempted as I could possibly be, I couldn't do it because it'd just be in my head the entire time. You know, that they're not there because they want to be. They don't love me. It's because I wished it. So, you know, I wouldn't wish for anyone. But if we're talking friends-wise, I'd probably wish for a couple of celebrity contact. I mean, like Miranda. I'd love to be Miranda's friend. Yeah, I don't know really. There's loads. I mean, yeah, I'd love to have a few celebrity friends. You know, I wouldn't wish for fame or anything like that. I mean, obviously, I want to do well on YouTube and I want to have that kind of, you know, fame in a way. But I wouldn't wish to go right to the top. I'd like to work for it. Yeah, because again, it's similar to the wishing for somebody. You know, if I wish to be famous, I'm like, well, I'm only here. I'm not here because I've achieved it. I'm here because I've wished for it. But so yeah, yeah, I wouldn't wish for anyone. Apart from maybe a couple of celebrity mates, just to be, you know, just friends, you know, text, probably, you know, they pop to Derby now and again, we go for a coffee, that kind of thing. So yeah, if I could have anything. Now, this is one thing me and my mum have talked about. When we often sit back and go, can you imagine if we won the lottery? I'd love a bigger house. I mean, I live in a bungalow, as you know, and it's just a straight rectangle, this bungalow. I've always liked the idea of having a house with an odd shape. You know, just different chunks of house bobbing off. And we said to each other, you know, if we won the lottery, we'd buy a bigger bungalow. Somewhere with a massive, like, gravel driveway. Probably a triple garage. An outbuilding with an indoor pool in it. 7 bedrooms. 1 each for me and my mother. A third one as a guest room. And then I'd have a home cinema. I'd have a gym. Yeah. Full of cobwebs. Yeah, home cinema, a gym. I'd have a bar. And I'd probably have, like, a... what would I do with the final room? I'd probably make that into an... I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll probably leave it spare. You know, I'll probably keep an empty room for the next big idea that I get. So yeah, that's something I've wished for. One that I owned as well. You know, that I don't have to owe any money on, and you know, that I don't have to pay bills on either. You know, I wish for a constant supply of gas and lecky and water. Just a big house, no bills. You know, it's that kind of thing. Because obviously, I'm wishing for a big house. I'd have to waste a wish wishing for money, which again, I don't really want to do that. Actually, no. Do you know what? Tell you what. There's number 3. Right, I wish for a bigger bank balance. I know money isn't everything, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it, to have a bit of a cushion? It'd be nice to extract that worry from my life. So many people are, oh, you know, money doesn't buy happiness and blah blah blah. Like, well, let me have a chance. You know, give me that chance to find that out for myself. So yeah, I'd wish for a big, nothing major. You know, I wouldn't wish for millions upon millions. I'd probably just wish for, I don't know, probably just 1 million. You know, because I think, you know, use wisely and plus a high interest account. I don't think I'd spend £1 million too soon, especially if I've already got my house. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's wish number 3. And wish number 4, I know what this would be. And yeah, I would wish to be able to teleport anytime I want. Just a little remote that I can hold and, you know, keep with me. Press it and I can go wherever I want. Because I'm not a big traveller, just because I don't like the idea of flying. You know, boats, I wouldn't mind going on a cruise or something. But yeah, I'm not really well travelled. You know, if I've gone on a longish car journey or bus ride or whatever, I keep thinking, what if it crashes? Do you know what I mean? I'm too scared of that kind of thing. So I'd love to have a little remote where I can teleport anywhere, anytime I want. So I could come and see you, for example. I could go, Keithley, please, button, and there I am at the door in a second. And then I can be home in a second. I can nip to the shops. Because then also, what advantage that would have? I mean, obviously I can drive, but I don't have a car. I walk everywhere. But a big disadvantage of that is that sometimes it feels like a chore. If I could occasionally teleport myself to wherever I wanted to go, you know, like the shops or the supermarket or, I don't know, well, just anywhere I tend to go. You know, chip shop, anything like that. If I could teleport myself to these places, walking would be more of a luxury. I'd be able to do it by choice, and I'd enjoy it more. So yeah, that's what I'd do. Plus, imagine how much that would come in handy if it was raining. I could just teleport myself right inside the shop, no rain. And okay, sorry, I've really got a wheeze on at the minute. But yeah, that's what I would wish for. So I've got my bigger house with no bills or anything to pay. I've got a secure bank balance, nothing major, just, you know, enough. My teleport and What was my other wish? Did I say celebrity friend? I can't remember. I think I've lost track of wishes. Sorry about that. Yeah, I definitely wish for the house, the money, teleport, and time travel. Yeah. Oh no, that's 5. Yeah, because I did say celebrity friends. Actually, yeah. Do you know what? Forget celebrity friends, because if I'm that rich and I do YouTube still, I might get to that point on my own. So that. There you go. There you go. That kind of ties in with wishing for fame, doesn't it? Or not wishing for fame. I can work my way up and get my own celebrity friends, especially if the other question became a reality. I mean, again, I could wish for that. I could wish for you to have that successful podcast. Oh, I don't know. I feel like all my wishes are selfish now. All right, yeah. Can't wish for more wishes, can I? Oh, can I? You didn't say I couldn't. There you go. Wish number 4. I'd wish for 2 more wishes, right? And I would wish for the teleportation and for the success on your podcast and that. But of course, if you don't want the wish at the time, I'd check with you first. You can always say, no, I don't want that. I'd rather earn it myself. Bit like me. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'll just wish for, I don't know, a dog or something. So yeah, again, the wishing thing was really hard because I thought, should I wish for like really good health or eternal? I thought, well, no, because that's not natural, is it? I don't think you can live a normal life if you knew you or anyone that you love was never gonna, have anything wrong with them. I don't think I'd like to take anything out of ordinary human life. Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to wish myself into an impossible situation because it'd change who you are, wouldn't it? It really would change who you are as a person. So yeah, they're my 4 wishes. Okay? And well, my 6 wishes, but you know what I mean. So yeah, there we go, guys. That is the Q&A done. I want to thank everybody for submitting all your questions. Thank you, Rev. Thank you, SureShot, and thank you, Luke. You've all been fantastic. Thanks for getting involved, and I hope that you like the answers that I gave today. Hope you've enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm going to get going now, because I mean, how long has this video been? Let's have a look. Come on. 40 minutes. Oh, there we are. It's not too bad then. It's shorter than... I think this is the shortest video I've ever done. There's not a reaction. Anyway, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for submitting your questions. And again, if you are still watching at this point, don't forget you can still submit more questions in the... Let's from now on, as of recording of this video, any future questions, pop in the comments section of this video. Because if I get enough, then I will do a second one. I'd really love to know what you guys want to know. But yeah, that's it for today. Again, thank you to absolutely everybody that has contributed questions. And thank you to you all for giving me something to think about. That's been the best bit about this, is actually planning my answers. I didn't want to go into it blind and, just answer... just like nothing. I wanted to do it this way, so yeah. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been interesting sharing this kind of thing with you. So yeah, I'm going to get going now, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video. Not that you're watching this if you're new, you don't know who I am clearly, but if that is the case and you like what you've heard, just, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, again, everyone, feel free to ask more questions. Ask as many as you want. Ask anything you want. I'm a completely open book, but, let's keep it clean, obviously. That's implied, but, yeah, just be as nosy as you want. I'm fine with anything, honestly, within reason. So, yeah, again, thank you to everybody. I hope you all enjoyed my answers. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, as well as, other people asking other questions. But, yeah, thank you. I'm going to get going now, guys, so I can get this uploaded for you, okay? I will see you in my next video, which will more than likely be a reaction. So yeah, until then, guys, have a good day / night, depending when you're watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.